guest on this show that actually genuinely wanted to do that.
I've never had a guest.
I've seen it.
I've never had a guest on the show
Chris Stapleton
who genuinely wanted to do anything.
You made him cry.
He was supposed to be just another small-town dreamer with a guitar. Instead, Blake Shelton became one of country music's biggest icons. But fame always comes with a cost. Behind the laughter, behind the television charm, behind the million-dollar homes and cars, lies a life more dramatic than any stage performance. Starting at number 10, let's talk music. Now, don't roll your eyes. This isn't just the usual chart talk. In 2025, Blake's taking a slower, more intentional approach. He's not pumping out albums just to hit numbers. Nope. His latest, for recreational use only, feels personal. Like you're sitting around a campfire and he's strumming for you alone. Every song? A snapshot of home, Oklahoma skies, heartbreak, humor, and everything in between. Some tracks will make you laugh. Some will make you, well, feel. And honestly, you can tell he's putting a piece of himself into every note. That's number 10. Blake creating music that's not just for the charts, it's for the heart. Number 9 is all about love. Yep, we're diving into the relationship side of Blake Shelton. After years of public attention on his marriage with Gwen Stefani, 2025 finds him in a new chapter. And insiders say it's one of the most genuine ones yet. He's laughing more, joking more, and just present. Like really present. Imagine a quiet dinner on the ranch, the kind where no cameras exist and no one's watching. Just laughter, conversation, and a guy genuinely enjoying the moment. That's him right now. And honestly, watching him rediscover connection like this, it's kind of beautiful. Real love doesn't always hit the headlines, but when it does, it changes everything. Sliding into number 8, let's peek at family life. Yep, Blake's stepping up again. This year, he's welcoming his 4th child. And let me tell you, the joy is so real you can practically feel it. Early mornings, backyard adventures, those little moments that make a house a home. It's all happening. And Blake? He's the kind of dad who'll play with the kids, crack silly jokes, and then, when it's quiet, just watch them grow and wonder how fast time flies. Parenthood has a way of slowing things down, of making everything else seem secondary. For him, it's grounding, beautiful, and honestly, cinematic. You can almost picture the scene. The sun rising, laughter echoing across the yard, and Blake quietly savoring it all. Number 7 takes us to his ranch life. The sprawling, 300-acre Oklahoma paradise that's kind of his soul on land. Lakes, rolling pastures, a private chapel built for reflection and family moments. It's stunning, but it's more than just space or aesthetics. It's a sanctuary. A place where fame fades, and Blake can just be. You can see it. Him leaning against a fence, guitar resting nearby, wind sweeping across the plains, thinking, reflecting. Every barn, every trail, every quiet corner tells a story. And here's the thing, it's intentional. Every choice, every detail, it's him protecting the rhythm and authenticity that fame could easily swallow. Coming in at number 6, we talk cars. And not in the usual look at my collection way. Blake's rides tell stories. They match his values, lifestyle, and, honestly, his personality. Rugged trucks for ranch life, a Ford Shelby GT for weekend escapes, and that sentimental red truck from Gwen. Yeah, it's kind of a legend now. Driving isn't just practical, it's ritual. The sound of the engine, gravel crunching under tires, country tunes on the radio. It's Blake connecting dots between tours, family, and quiet moments of reflection. Every vehicle? A piece of his life, not a status symbol. And that's the beauty of it. Simple, meaningful, and totally him. Now let me drop a little tease here. As we climb toward the top 5, things get even more surprising. Because if you think ranches, cars, and music fully define Blake Shelton in 2025, You're gonna be shocked. The next layer? Money, strategy, and a brain for business that most people don't even know he's flexing. Yeah, it's impressive and yes, a little unexpected. But before we go there, let's just savor what we've seen. A man balancing fame, family, and authenticity in a world that constantly tests both. It's cinematic, emotional, and trust me, we're just getting warmed up. Back to our countdown. These first 5 revelations, his music, love, 4th child, ranch, and vehicles, they already sketch a life that's enviable, complicated, and deeply human. There's contrast everywhere. Red carpets versus sunrise on the prairie, sold-out tours versus bedtime stories, high-stakes fame versus small, quiet victories. Blake lives in that contrast, and it makes everything he does feel alive. You start to realize this isn't celebrity gossip. It's a story about a man curating a life that fits him, not the other way around. And when you look closely, you can see the intentionality in everything, even the tiny, almost invisible choices. As we wrap up part 1, think about the emotional thread running through all this. The tension of loss and love, the small triumphs of fatherhood, the thrill of creating music that matters. All of it blends into a portrait of a man living fully, choosing deliberately, and surprising even those who've followed him for years. And the top 5? They're going to up the stakes. We're talking hidden strategies, unexpected ventures, and moments so personal they feel almost like whispered confessions. But before we hit that next part, pause for a moment and imagine this world. Golden light spilling across the Oklahoma plains, laughter bouncing across 2,300 acres, the smell of fresh-cut hay, guitars resting nearby, engines humming softly down a gravel road. That's Blake Shelton's 2025. Intimate, larger than life, and just getting started. And in part 2, you're going to see secrets that are even more dramatic, intimate, and yes, shockingly unexpected. At number 5, let's dive into Blake Shelton's financial world. Yeah, I know, money talk. But stick with me, because this isn't your usual look at his bank account story. Blake's wealth in 2025 isn't just from albums or The Voice. It's layered, strategic, and honestly, kinda genius. Think touring, streaming, royalties, and then sprinkle in endorsements and business ventures. But here's the kicker. He doesn't flaunt it. He's not rolling in gold chains or making flashy Instagram posts about his fortune. Nope. Instead, you get subtle signs, the ranch upgrades, the family trips that look simple but are meticulously planned, the investments in businesses that reflect his personality rather than pure profit. And it all adds up. His net worth? Estimates put it north of $140 million. That's not just impressive. It's almost cinematic how a man who seems so down-to-earth is quietly building an empire around the things he loves. Number 4 is all about real estate. And honestly, this one might blow you away. Blake isn't just buying homes to look good on Instagram. Each property tells a story. Take the Tishomingo Ranch, 1,300 acres of lakes, pastures, and secret hideaways. There's a private chapel he built for family moments, barns that double as creative studios, and corners designed for reflection. You can almost picture him there, guitar in hand, watching the sun set over the open fields, thinking, "This is where I belong." And then contrast that with the Los Angeles mansion he once shared with Gwen Stefani. 13,000 square feet of sleek, modern design, pool, spa, the works. It's a sharp turn from his country roots, yet it shows his adaptability, his willingness to embrace love, life, and style outside of Oklahoma. And now, 2025 finds him mostly at home in his heartland properties, savoring simplicity, peace, and the freedom to be himself. Coming in at number 3, we hit a more intimate level, Blake's personal struggles and resilience. Fame? It's a double-edged sword. Breakups, media scrutiny, the pressure of public life, they leave marks. Remember the Miranda Lambert divorce? Yeah, that was a headline storm. But what's fascinating is how Blake turns heartbreak into art. The album, If I'm Honest, isn't just music. It's therapy, storytelling, and honesty stitched into melodies. And now, with the highs of new love and fatherhood, you see a man who's experienced loss, laughter, and life in extremes. And somehow, he's still warm, still funny, still present. That balance is rare. It's easy to forget that behind sold-out concerts and TV appearances, there's a human navigating love, loss, and identity. Sometimes quietly, sometimes in public. But Blake does it with charm, authenticity, and, honestly, a bit of swagger that makes you root for him even harder. Before we jump to number 2, let's pause for a second. Can you feel the escalation? Music, love, family, money, property, resilience. It's like each layer pulls you deeper into a life that feels both relatable and aspirational. And here's the trick. You're not just learning facts. You're seeing patterns, motivations, decisions that most people wouldn't connect. That's the genius of this countdown. By the time we hit number 2, your perspective on Blake Shelton isn't just refreshed. It's changed. You're invested emotionally. You're anticipating the jaw-dropper at number 1. Heartbreak to high-profile marriages, every connection has added depth, perspective, and resilience. Gwen's partnership is a central chapter, one marked by both media scrutiny and genuine emotion. They've navigated distance, divergent lifestyles, and public attention with a degree of grace and honesty that few could maintain. Blake's approach is instructive. Relationships are messy. Life is complex, but intentional effort, authenticity, and respect can carry you through the turbulence. And you can see it in the small details. The way he checks in with Gwen, even from Oklahoma. The attention he pays to the kids, making sure each moment counts. The way he chooses projects and collaborations that align with personal values rather than just market trends. These aren't showy gestures. They're subtle, powerful indicators of a man living in accordance with his principles. Another striking part of Blake's 2025 story is his commitment to creativity. Even after decades in the music in number 5, again. But this time, let's linger on his entrepreneurial side. Blake isn't just sitting on wealth. He's using it to expand influence in ways that feel organic. Red, his chain of restaurants and music venues, isn't just a side hustle. It's a cultural footprint. Fans get a slice of the country lifestyle, locals get jobs, and the vibe? Authentic, warm, inviting. It's an extension of him, really. Imagine walking into one of these venues. The smell of barbecue, guitars in the corner, laughter from a stage where someone's covering an old Blake classic. That's more than business. That's storytelling. That's culture building. And honestly, it's kind of inspiring to see a celebrity use influence in a way that doesn't scream ego, but instead invites people in. Now, number 4 deserves more attention. His properties. The Tishomingo Ranch is iconic, but it's not static. Blake's always tweaking, improving, making it not just a residence, but a legacy. There's a guest house for friends, barns converted into music rooms, trails for horseback riding and reflection. And it's not just functional, it's cinematic. You can picture a slow morning, coffee in hand, dogs running across the fields, the sun rising, and Blake thinking about lyrics for a new song or the next family adventure. Contrast that with the Los Angeles estate, a mansion that screams style, not simplicity. And you see a man who can navigate extremes. One moment, he's deeply rooted in tradition. The next, embracing modern luxury, all while keeping his core identity intact. It's fascinating to watch. Number 3 again, but let's focus on a more emotional angle. Fatherhood and family grounding. Blake's 4th child brings a new rhythm, a new heartbeat to his days. There's chaos, sure, but also pure joy. Picture bedtime stories, backyard adventures, the little moments that make life feel full. He's that dad who'll roll in the dirt with the kids, then quietly watch them sleep, wondering how fast they're growing. Parenthood has a way of balancing the scales, slowing down time just enough to make every laugh, every tear, every milestone feel monumental. And Blake? He's embracing it with that mix of humor, warmth, and gentle reflection that makes him feel so real, so approachable, even at his celebrity level. As we draw closer to the top two, the suspense starts building. Because what we've covered, music, relationships, wealth, property, resilience, and fatherhood, it's all surface level, in a sense. There are deeper layers, choices that define character, moments of vulnerability that rarely make the tabloids, and decisions that shape not just his career, but the man he's becoming. And if you thought the previous entries were eye-opening, hang on. Number 2 is where the personal, professional, and emotional collide in ways that almost feel cinematic. Here's a hint. Number 2 isn't just about one facet of life. It's about the intersection of love, legacy, and lifestyle. It's a moment where decisions ripple outward, affecting family, career, and personal growth. And Blake navigates it with the kind of awareness and emotional intelligence that surprises even longtime fans. It's subtle, yet profound, and sets the stage for the final revelation. By the end, you're not just impressed, you're invested. And let me just say, Blake's 2025 life isn't static. It's in motion, evolving with each album, each relationship, each investment. From private moments on the ranch to the public eye in Los Angeles, there's a tension, a push-pull between roots and reach, tradition and transformation. And that tension? It makes every story, every decision, every glimpse of his life feel gripping. That's why we keep watching, keep listening, keep caring. You don't just follow Blake Shelton, you experience him, almost like you're walking alongside him, witnessing decisions that are intensely personal yet publicly compelling. Numbers 2 and 1, where everything we've been building, the laughter, the heartbreak, the sprawling ranches, the roar of the audience, the quiet moments by the lake, culminates into the truth that really defines Blake Shelton in 2025. Number 2 is about a revelation that feels intimate yet monumental. Blake's approach to fatherhood and family. With 4 children now, the scope of his responsibility has transformed. It's not just about providing, it's about presence, about creating memories that stick, about being the dad who shows up, not just in public but in the quiet, messy, mundane moments that truly matter. Imagine him in the kitchen early one morning, tiny hands reaching for cereal, dogs weaving between legs, his coffee steaming on the counter. He's juggling, laughing, correcting a dropped spoon, listening intently as a child explains a dream. This is Blake outside of the spotlight, outside the accolades, in the raw authenticity of home life. And the thing is, these moments, these unpolished, chaotic bursts of love, they shape a man more than any award ever could. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Despite the demands of tours, recording sessions, and media appearances, Blake has carved out a rhythm that allows him to be both a superstar and a dad. He's learned to compartmentalize, to truly inhabit each moment without distraction. One afternoon, you might find him strumming a guitar while his kids dance in the yard, their laughter echoing across the property. The song he's writing isn't just for a record, it's a letter to them, a snapshot of a life he wants to preserve. These moments reveal a depth often hidden behind the glitz of fame. And for fans, seeing Blake prioritize family in 2025 paints a new picture. A man whose legacy isn't measured solely by chart-topping hits, but by the values he instills in those closest to him, which leads seamlessly into the climax. Number 1. And honestly, brace yourself, because this is the revelation that ties everything together. Blake Shelton's 2025 lifestyle is defined not by fame, money, or flashy homes. It's defined by intentional living. Every choice, from where he wakes up to who he surrounds himself with, from the songs he writes to the trucks he drives, reflects a conscious decision to live a life that resonates with authenticity, balance, and emotional truth. He's become a master at navigating the fine line between celebrity and real life, fame and intimacy, chaos and calm. And it's this mastery that makes his story so compelling, so human. Let's break it down a bit. Blake's homes, for instance, aren't just luxurious. They're functional, curated, deeply personal. The Oklahoma ranch is more than acreage. It's a sanctuary. The lakeside property isn't just a getaway. It's a creative incubator. Even the California mansion, while glamorous, is a testament to compromise, partnership, and shared life chapters. Blake moves through these spaces with intention, choosing not merely to exist in them, but to thrive and create meaning. And when you see him in these environments, you realize the wealth, the fame, they're secondary. The first priority is living deliberately, crafting moments that will matter for years to come. And the cars, oh the cars, they tell the same story. From the beat-up pickup of his teenage years to the Dodge Ram 2500 he drives on the ranch, and even the Ford Shelby GT reserved for occasional thrill-seeking, each vehicle reflects his personality, his values, his journey. They aren't trophies, they're companions, tools, extensions of a life lived with purpose. Even the gift from Gwen, the vintage red truck, isn't just sentimental, it's a symbol of connection, history, and joy, woven into the tapestry of his everyday existence. Money, of course, is part of the picture, but Blake handles it with the same intentionality. His estimated net worth of $150 million isn't just a number. It's a resource that allows him to create, to give back, to preserve his lifestyle and his family's well-being. From philanthropy supporting children's hospitals and disaster relief to community events at his red venues, he channels wealth into meaningful impact. And 2025 shows that Blake's definition of success has evolved. It's not about accumulation. It's about contribution, presence, and lasting influence. We also can't ignore love. Relationships have shaped him, sometimes painfully, sometimes joyfully. From early headistry, he's not resting on past hits. Instead, he's exploring new sounds, revisiting old influences, and letting personal growth shape his art. His latest album, For Recreational Use Only, is a reflection of this mindset. Songs inspired by home, simplicity, love, and introspection. Recording in lakeside studios, writing by candlelight, collaborating with trusted musicians, Blake's creative process has become a form of meditation, a way to connect deeply with himself and his audience. And that, honestly, is inspiring. Number one, then, isn't a single fact about wealth, cars, or even relationships. Number one is the life philosophy Blake Shelton has cultivated. Intentionality, authenticity, and presence. Everything else, the accolades, the mansions, the tours, the vehicles, they're expressions of this philosophy, not the purpose. And that's why 2025 feels like a defining year. Because it's a year where the curtain is pulled back, revealing the man behind the music, the laughter, the headlines, the man who struggles, who loves, who creates, who chooses deliberately, and who cherishes every chaotic, beautiful moment of life. And the payoff? It's emotional. Watching Blake navigate this year, balancing fame, love, family, and creative passion, you realize that the real story isn't about celebrity at all. It's about human resilience, the pursuit of happiness on your own terms, and the courage to live authentically, even when the world expects you to perform a certain role. And that is powerful. Even his public persona now mirrors this evolution. When Blake appears in interviews, performances, or social media clips, there's a calm confidence, a warmth, a relatability. He laughs genuinely, jokes self-deprecatingly, and lets glimpses of vulnerability shine through. People aren't just watching a star, they're connecting with a human being. And in a world of filtered images and curated narratives, that raw honesty resonates profoundly. And before we wrap, let's not forget the smallest yet telling details of his daily life. Blake still fishes in the early morning, tends the land, plays arcade games with his kids, and listens to the Golden Girls reruns just because they make him laugh. These choices, mundane to some, reveal priorities: joy, family, and personal fulfillment over spectacle. And isn't that refreshing? That even a global superstar finds meaning in ordinary pleasures, weaving them into the fabric of an extraordinary life? So as we close the countdown, let's reflect. Blake Shelton in 2025 is more than hits and headlines. He's a man shaping his destiny, embracing his roles as a father, partner, creator, and friend with intention. The houses, the cars, the net worth, they're chapters in a story far richer and more human than numbers could ever convey. The story here isn't just about what he owns or achieves, it's about how he chooses to live, love, and leave an imprint on the world. And that's the real jaw-dropper. Blake's days in 2025 are rhythmically beautiful, even in their chaos. Morning light spills across the ranch, and he's already on his feet before most people would consider moving. Coffee in hand, he's checking in on the kids, waving at neighbors, giving instructions to ranch hands, all with that easy, unhurried charm that has defined him since his early days in Ada. And you can almost hear him thinking, "All right, let's see what today brings." There's a comfort here, a freedom he's fought for, a balance most people only dream of. It's raw, but intentional. And honestly, watching him live, it makes you pause and rethink your own pace. Music still anchors his life, but it's changed form. No longer just the adrenaline of chart-topping singles or the clamor of stadium tours, music now flows in quiet, unexpected ways. On some days, he's strumming in the early morning mist, lyrics spilling from a mind tuned to reflection and memory. The songs echo his life, but not just publicly. They capture the heartbeat of his family, the texture of his daily moments, the laughter, the arguments, the tenderness. It's art as life, life as art, and Blake is its conductor. And here's the kicker. You can feel the sincerity. There's no filter, no rush to impress. It's him, all of him. Even his children have become a source of inspiration that fuels creativity in ways fans rarely see. The eldest teaching the youngest to ride a horse. The toddler giggling uncontrollably during a piano practice session. Blake watching, correcting a small mistake, celebrating every tiny success, and then jotting a lyric inspired by the pure innocence in front of him. It's mundane, sure, but in these seemingly small moments, life's profundity reveals itself, and Blake notices it. He doesn't just pass through life, he absorbs it, converts it into music, laughter, lessons. Then there's Gwen. Their life together is like a delicate duet, sometimes in harmony, sometimes testing each other's patience, but it's always authentic. They've had to navigate distance, media scrutiny, and differing rhythms of life, and that struggle, unpolished, real, is part of the story. Blake doesn't shy away from it. He confronts it, jokes about it, and cherishes it when it works. Some mornings, he's video calling Gwen while holding the baby, both laughing at a spilled bottle or a mispronounced word. These are human moments, and in 2025, Blake has mastered turning them into the subtle magic that shapes his public image without losing personal intimacy. The ranch itself is a character in this story, almost like a silent witness to Blake's evolution. Acres of rolling hills, lakes that mirror the sky, barns that smell of hay and life, all of it grounded in a rhythm that slows time just enough to reflect. Here, Blake walks slowly, occasionally stopping to inspect a gate or check on cattle, always observing, always present. You can see it in the way he leans against a fence, watching the sun set over the property, guitar in hand, lost in a song half-formed. It's cinematic without trying to be, authentic without the need for applause. And Blake's wealth, though impressive, is framed differently in 2025. Sure, millions of dollars sit in bank accounts, investments, and ventures, but it's not just accumulation, it's freedom. Freedom to create, to experiment, to give back, to live without compromise. His red venues not only generate revenue, they host community events, promote local musicians, and fund charitable initiatives. Each dollar reflects intention. He's not flaunting wealth. He's using it to craft experiences, relationships, and moments that matter. And that is far more compelling than any headline figure could ever convey. Blake's relationships, personal and professional, are equally intentional. Long-standing friendships with collaborators like Trace Atkins and mentorship roles on The Voice continue to reveal his capacity for loyalty, guidance, and humor. And through every heartbreak and triumph, he remains emotionally open. Gwen's children, for example, aren't just a peripheral detail, they're embraced as family. Blake navigates this blended dynamic with patience, love, and the occasional playful jab, creating bonds that are visible even through brief social media glimpses. Even his humor remains a hallmark. Small, self-deprecating moments pepper the day. A joke at breakfast, a playful argument over chores, laughter at an unexpected mess in the house. Humor humanizes him, balances the intensity of fame, and keeps life grounded. It's also a reminder that no matter how much success or wealth surrounds Blake, he's still navigating the same human experiences we all do: frustration, joy, exhaustion, and elation. And the music? It's evolving too. Blake's songwriting now reflects this personal growth. Themes of home, fatherhood, love, and legacy dominate. His latest album is infused with a sense of storytelling that's intimate and universal at once. Fans listening to tracks may hear the echoes of ranch life, family laughter, and late-night reflections. Each note, each lyric, isn't just entertainment. It's an insight into a man embracing life fully, with honesty, joy, and a touch of vulnerability. Even the mundane, grocery runs, walking the dogs, weekend chores, becomes part of the narrative. Blake treats these with care because he knows they matter. They're the spaces where real connections are made, lessons are learned, and memories are formed. In 2025, he's showing us that a meaningful life isn't measured by applause, but by the texture of ordinary moments made extraordinary by presence and intention. And there's a subtle magic in how he balances visibility and privacy. Media coverage, social posts, and public appearances are carefully calibrated, but never overproduced. There's room for imperfection, for authenticity, for laughter and missteps. Blake has mastered the art of being seen without being consumed by the spotlight, of sharing just enough to connect, but keeping sacred spaces private. And that's perhaps the most compelling part of his life in 2025. The deliberate boundaries he sets, preserving the life he values most. It all circles back to the emotional core: family. With 4 children, he's navigating milestones that are both ordinary and monumental. First steps, school recitals, birthday parties, personal triumphs and disappointments. And Blake shows up. He doesn't just attend events. He participates fully, invests emotionally, celebrates victories, and comforts during losses. Watching him parent in 2025 reveals a side of him that charts, awards, and headlines never could. It's messy, tender, chaotic, and deeply human. Even the challenges, relationship tensions, public scrutiny, career pressures, are met with reflection and intentional choice. Blake doesn't hide from difficulty. He confronts it, learns from it, and uses it to grow. His story in 2025 isn't glossy or sanitized. It's lived. It's a reminder that growth, love, and joy aren't linear, and that even someone at the top of fame can navigate setbacks, mistakes, and evolution with grace. So, as we finally close this countdown, picture Blake standing on his porch at sunset, guitar in hand, kids playing in the yard, a dog nudging his leg, laughter spilling into the twilight. He's not performing for anyone. He's simply being, fully present, fully alive, fully intentional. And that is the real takeaway. This is what makes Blake Shelton in 2025 not just a celebrity, but a model of living deliberately, authentically, and with heart. If you walk away from this video remembering one thing, let it be that. Success, wealth, fame, they're all reflections of how you choose to live your life, not the life itself. Blake's choices, his love for family, his dedication to music, his care in every relationship, his presence in the mundane, all of it teaches a lesson far greater than chart-topping singles ever could. And honestly, that lesson, it sticks. Before we finally wrap, consider this. Blake's story is still unfolding. New songs, new adventures, family milestones, creative projects, they're all on the horizon. The man you see today, standing on his porch, guitar in hand, is the same man who's constantly evolving, learning, and redefining what it means to live fully. And for fans, the privilege is watching that journey, witnessing the evolution of a man who's chosen to be more than just a performer. He's chosen to be human, present, and intentional. And with that, the story comes full circle. From small-town beginnings in Ada to the sprawling Oklahoma ranches, the music studios, the cars, the family chaos, and the quiet reflection at sunset, everything Blake Shelton touches in 2025 carries intention, meaning, and heart. It's cinematic, yes, but it's also profoundly human. And if that doesn't leave you reflecting on your own life, your priorities, and your choices, well, maybe nothing will. So here's to Blake in 2025. A man navigating fame, family, creativity, and love with eyes wide open, heart fully engaged, and feet planted firmly in the soil of authenticity. And the takeaway? It's simple, really. Live deliberately, love deeply, laugh often, and in doing so, maybe you'll find your own kind of fulfillment, just like Blake has. As you walk away from this countdown, imagine Blake standing on his porch at dusk, guitar in hand, kids laughing in the background, a dog nudging his leg. The wind carries the faint echo of a song he's writing, lyrics capturing life in all its messy, glorious complexity. He's a superstar, yes, but more importantly, he's alive, present, and intentionally shaping the life he wants. And isn't that a story worth celebrating? And finally, if you're curious, don't stop here. Blake's journey isn't just in this video. Dive into his latest music, explore the stories behind his red venues, or see the evolution of his ranch life. There's so much more unfolding, and trust me, you'll want to be part of it. Because Blake Shelton in 2025, he's a living reminder that success isn't just measured in fame or fortune. It's measured in presence, authenticity, and the love you leave behind. Thanks for sticking with me through this journey. If you've enjoyed uncovering Blake's world, remember, it's only the beginning. Life, like his music, is a crescendo, building from quiet introspection to unforgettable moments. And right now, Blake is at a peak we rarely see. It's messy, it's beautiful, and it's utterly human. And that is what makes 2025 a landmark year in his life.